Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins History. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating top 3. First up, the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is often discussed in numismatic circles, but there's a fair bit of confusion and myth surrounding its actual value, especially when people refer to it as a bicentennial coin, which it technically isn't. The term bicentennial usually relates to the 1988 celebrations of Australia's 200th anniversary since the arrival of the First Fleet. That said, the 1976 20-cent coin is part of the regular circulating coinage of Australia, struck by the Royal Australian Mint, and features the standard design by Arnold Mackin of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, and the platypus design by Stuart Devlin on the reverse. In reality, there was no official bicentennial coin issued in 1976 by the Australian government. Still, the myth surrounding the coin has taken on a life of its own, likely fueled by collector enthusiasm, online speculation, and misinterpretation of coin characteristics. One of the factors that can cause certain 1976 20-cent coins to stand out in terms of potential value is minting errors or unique variations. Some coins struck in this year may display misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-center features, traits that can substantially elevate their appeal to collectors. In very rare instances, coins might bear an unusual mint mark or exhibit planchet errors where the coin was struck on the wrong metal or blink. These kinds of mistakes are extremely limited in number, and if authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service, they can indeed fetch impressive prices on the collector's market. However, they still fall far short of the extravagant claims of becoming an overnight billionaire. Another layer to the myth is the idea that some of these coins have a hidden or rare mint mark which makes them immensely valuable. While mint marks are indeed significant in U.S. coinage and occasionally in Australian proof sets or commemorative issues, the standard circulating 1976 20-cent coin does not carry a distinct mint mark. However, speculative discussions and online buzz have sometimes mentioned mysterious versions with markings supposedly linked to limited test runs or unique dies, though no such official records confirm the production of a highly valuable bicentennial 20-cent variant in 1976. The lack of verifiable evidence from the Royal Australian Mint casts further doubt on such legendary versions being anything more than collector fantasy or misunderstood anomalies. The story often gets exaggerated by online listings, where sellers post common 1976 20-cent coins with inflated prices, sometimes reaching thousands or even millions of dollars. These listings often include dramatic titles and language suggesting unimaginable wealth, rare discovery, or one-of-a-kind value, but they rarely result in actual sales at those prices. In most cases, the coin is only worth its face value or slightly more, perhaps a few dollars if in uncirculated condition or part of a complete mint set. The psychological allure of finding buried treasure in one's pocket change fuels these fantasies, but it's important for collectors to approach such claims with critical thought and research. Ultimately, while the 1976 Australian 20-cent coin is a beautiful and well-crafted piece of Australian currency, it is not a recognized bicentennial issue, nor is it documented as a life-changing rarity in legitimate numismatic circles. That said, a unique error coin from that year in pristine condition could still hold considerable value, just not enough to make someone a billionaire overnight. The true worth of any coin lies in its condition, provenance, rarity, and demand among serious collectors. So, while it's fun to dream about hidden fortune in old change, the 1976 20-cent piece remains more valuable for its history and artistic merit than any mythical wealth it supposedly contains. Next up, the 1997 Australian 20-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II and commemorating a bicentennial event holds a unique place in numismatic discussions, though its actual market value depends greatly on specific factors such as rarity, condition, and collector demand. To start with, it's important to clarify that Australia's bicentennial celebrations mainly occurred in 1988, marking 200 years since the arrival of the First Fleet. Therefore, the 1997 coin is not part of the official bicentennial issues, but it still holds interest due to its minting anomalies, collector curiosity, and certain rare variations which may exist, including any special mint marks. Coins like these become valuable not just for their face value, but for the stories they tell, the rarity of their design, and sometimes due to accidental mintage errors or limited production runs that turn them into collector's gold. The fascination with this coin, especially if it bears a rare mint mark, is often built on speculation and anecdotal rarity. If, for example, a 1997 20-cent coin was struck with a mint mark or die that was used only briefly, or if there was an experimental or presentation strike involved, then its value could skyrocket among collectors. Coin values in such cases don't follow simple logic, but are driven by auction records, media coverage, and sheer collector competition. What might seem like a regular coin to most people could, under the right circumstances, such as being a proof coin, a double die strike, or a coin minted with the wrong planchet, command thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. The idea of a coin having unimaginable wealth stems from this unpredictable and passionate world of rare coin collecting. What truly fuels the mythos of coins like the 1997 bicentennial 20-cent piece is the way they are talked about in collector circles, often with a sense of mystery and legend. Stories emerge about certain coins being auctioned quietly for high sums, or about collectors hunting for specific variations for decades. It's these stories that breathe life into the value of such coins, more than just their metal content or face value. While there's no widespread public record of a 1997 Australian 20-cent coin instantly making someone a billionaire, the idea symbolizes how something so ordinary can become extraordinary under the right lens. A small coin, overlooked by many, can become a status symbol in the collecting world, representing both historical importance and personal triumph for the finder. Another key factor that can transform the value of such a coin is provenance, where it came from, who owned it, and how it was preserved. A coin found in a mint-sealed pack, stored away from moisture, and never circulated could fetch a premium far beyond that of the same coin in worn condition. Moreover, the presence of a unique mint mark, if verified by numismatic experts and backed by historical mint records, could boost its appeal to serious investors and collectors alike. The numismatic market thrives on this kind of authentication, and third-party grading services play a pivotal role in turning a common coin into a high-value asset. It's through this process that coins transcend their physical form and become financial and cultural artifacts. Ultimately, the worth of a 1997 Australian bicentennial 20-cent coin with a mint mark is a blend of myth, market, and moment. While it may not instantly make someone a billionaire, the very idea of such a coin possessing that potential is what keeps collectors dreaming and searching. In this world, rarity is king, and passion is the fuel. Whether through a chance discovery in pocket change or a lifelong hunt through auction houses and antique shops, these coins hold the power to ignite imaginations and sometimes, just sometimes, they change lives in unexpected ways. The journey to wealth through coins isn't always straightforward, but it's always filled with history, intrigue, and the thrill of the find. Next up, the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and a platypus on the reverse is a common circulation coin, but when collectors refer to a bicentennial version with a mint mark or rare features, they are usually pointing towards something beyond the ordinary. While Australia's official bicentenary was in 1988, sometimes collectors mistakenly associate earlier coins with a bicentennial theme, especially if the coin features unusual characteristics, mint errors, or was part of a commemorative release. In reality, the 1980 20-cent coin itself is not officially designated as a bicentennial issue, but the intrigue and perceived rarity among numismatics can sometimes elevate a coin's desirability and market value, especially if it has a unique mint mark, misprint, or an ultra-low mintage batch. These factors, more than just the year, can drive a coin's market worth into surprising territory. The idea of a 1980 bicentennial 20-cent coin possessing unimaginable wealth likely stems from a fusion of myth, collector lore, and confusion with other rare commemorative issues. What truly creates value in a coin is not just age or denomination, but scarcity, historical significance, and condition, especially when graded by professional services. A regular 1980 20-cent coin in circulated condition might only fetch its face value, but if there's a version with a distinctive mint mark, like the C for Canberra Mint or others not widely distributed, or if the coin was part of a collector's set or had a mintage error, the price can soar dramatically. Imagine a coin that was mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet, or one with a double die strike. Such errors are rare, often unique, and can catch the eye of high-end collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums. In the current collector's market, any coin rumored to be linked to Australia's heritage or history, like a bicentennial, regardless of official status, can be seen as a patriotic investment. As more people begin to see numismatics as a way to preserve wealth, the bidding wars for rare examples grow fiercer. A pristine 1980 20-cent coin, if authenticated with a unique feature like a misalignment, off-metal strike, or a scarce mint mark, could easily enter the 5 or even 6-figure realm if collectors perceive it as a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition. Such coins become the focal point of major auctions or private sales where passionate collectors compete for ownership, believing that they hold a piece of forgotten history or a numismatic anomaly. One of the most exciting aspects of these coins is how their value often comes not from public visibility, but from quiet speculation within dedicated circles. Stories of coins changing hands privately for enormous sums do exist, especially in markets like Australia, where local coinage carries deep cultural resonance. The tale of a 1980 20-cent piece making someone a millionaire may sound far-fetched to the average person, but to a seasoned collector or investor, it's not outside the realm of possibility if that coin checks the right boxes. Condition is king. Proof quality or uncirculated coins graded MS 67 or above can be exponentially more valuable than their worn, circulated counterparts. Combine that with a mystery or myth, like it being a rare mint test strike or a limited ceremonial minting, and its price becomes a function of belief as much as reality. In today's numismatic economy, a coin like this is more than metal. It's a passport into a world where history, passion, rarity, and speculation collide. While not every 1980 20-cent coin is destined to turn someone into a billionaire, the right combination of rarity, story, and authentication could absolutely make it one of the most expensive pieces ever sold. If such a coin exists, its value would transcend its face worth or even metal content. It would become a symbol of elusive fortune. And in that sense, this coin, real or rumored, reminds us that hidden treasure sometimes sits right under our noses, waiting for someone to recognize it.